Hello everybody, my name is Ichabod, and I'm going to be giving you a brief review on another Netflix movie I went ahead and watched. It's basically what I'm doing in this trend of watching movies and reviewing them, because I kind of run out of other kinds of content to do at the moment. So anyway, The Silence. I didn't expect this. I genuinely enjoyed it. While there was a lot to be desired with this movie, the premise is much more realistic than I expected. While creatures we've yet to encounter remain within the confines of our imagination, a species so singularly evolved doesn't break the bank in terms of its unrealistic nature. Hope you're ready, because here come the spoilers, and I don't want anybody bitching because I decided to tell you about the movie I was watching. That's the point of the video, so if you don't want them, I'll give you 4 seconds to bail. Netflix's foray into horror has finally made it beyond what I call the sci-fi original movie territory, which is basically a concept of, really bad, straight-to-TV movies that weren't really of any, credence. But they've moved into something legitimate. While the movie was slow-going at first, it picked up, it kept going. I didn't really, feel that there was long terms of it that I was going to be bored. And once it picked up, it kept its pacing. The creatures, called Vespers, started taking over the world when released from an ancient rock slide deep underground. Hunting almost entirely by sound, these little things are vicious, tearing people and animals apart with the glee of a fat kid in an all-you-can-eat buffet. The only rule in this world being keep quiet and not to alert the flock. Thousands of little bastards are hanging in the air at any given time, giving a real sense of looming dread to the scenario. Not too surprising, the heroes of this little story are a deaf girl and her ASL fluent family. For those of you who don't know, ASL is American Sign Language. Things really start getting crazy when their uncle, a gun-toting Glenn, dies on the road, and the investigation of how these things work really gets underway. The father learning about their audible hunting method by throwing a tire iron after they get devoured by Glenn, who sacrificed himself to save the family by firing his gun off into the distance and eventually at some of the little bastards. Instead of this dark, incomprehensible horror like Bird Box offered, where you never really see what's going out, these little bastards are very, very real, and they're present, moving around in the sky at all times, which really lends to the fear of acting or behaving in any way that would cause sound. With some adaptation, the family gets used to it, not speaking and staying quiet, until the mother gets bit by one of the creatures, and the father and daughter have to venture to a pharmacy to get antibiotics. One of the really interesting things about this is where the daughter learns the creatures lay their eggs in the bodies of the people and animals that they killed. Peering in from the darkness, however, is a mad preacher bent on banging the daughter because she happens to be fertile, and he begins his hunt for the family, using a tactic that, surprisingly, I can see being mildly effective in this world where sound is dangerous. They take a child and send it up to the family, who pick it up at their remote safe haven to try and take care of the kid and make sure they don't die. But they're covered in cell phones, and then the preacher and his little crazy cult family call the cell phones all at once, which causes the creatures to bust into the house and cause some chaos and distraction. Well, during this little scuffle, the preacher gets the daughter. He doesn't get far, the grandmother sacrificing herself to get 2 of the agents who had grabbed the daughter eaten by the creatures, basically tackling them and screaming so they all just converge down in. But, again, the mad preacher kind of gets away with them. Eventually, though, the family catches up to the preacher, and using a mixture of bludgeoning weapons and slashing weapons, they basically purge the remainder, leaving only the child and presumably the preacher's wife left alive, kind of staring at each other in the distance. Now, what I really want to kind of hammer home about this is human survival can be cruel, and this movie wholeheartedly touches on that in a lot of places. But there's some things even I won't spoil, so you'll have to go watch it yourself to see really how fucked up some of this is. If you have the time and the stomach for it, go ahead and check out The Silence on Netflix. I was pretty surprised with it, and I'd give it another watch sometime if I need a movie that reminds me that people can suck sometimes when they're looking out for nobody but themselves. Anyway, 2 things to round out this video. Number 1, if you want to do a review on a movie and you have the ability to record doing so, go ahead and take it and then send it to the email that I will be linking in the description. And if you if I can understand putting it on the channel, I will. Just be sure to add any of your relevant information, like your YouTube channel, Twitter handle, anything like that, in the email as well. Anyway, number 2, I've got raccoon shit to do, so like, comment, and subscribe. You know how I like to hear from you guys. It always makes me feel a little bit better. Anyway, all that aside, I'll see you guys next time.